Today we're going to talk about public image. Now, if you've heard me do this before, you know the reason for it. If you haven't, I'm going to tell you. Rotary International, I guess it's been maybe 10 years ago now, hired a consulting firm to come in to look at us, Rotary International, see what we do, why we do it, how we do it, where we're good, where we're bad. And what they came back with is that we're a good organization. We do a lot of great things. We feed hunger, we provide water, we are trying to eradicate polio. We will eradicate polio. We build schools. But what we don't do is we don't have to do what we're doing. We just don't get the word out. Rotary is kind of an organization, I think, in the past that was perceived as being an elite gentleman who taught business and kind of kept it to themselves. I think Sherry kind of hit on that a little bit yesterday. And they said, you've got to tell your story. You've got to let the public know who you are and what you're doing. That's one of the reasons they're trying to track volunteer information in the database now to get some idea of how much work we really do out in the public. But anyway, that's the reason. So my hashtag is do good, have fun, tell somebody. That's what it's all about. You're doing good work. You're going to tell somebody, but you're going to have fun while you're doing it. So I'm happy to share that with you if you want to use it. The Public Image Initiative, you can see it. It's to strengthen Rotary, and that's exactly what we want to do. It's, we're going to amplify the fact that we're a volunteer service organization. We're going to tell our stories. We're going to get visual and digital identity by doing so. Goes along with what I just said a minute ago. We have got to get the public to view us differently than how they've viewed us in the past. We do good stuff, we want the public to know. And we have to clearly communicate who we are and what we do for greater understanding of all of us and impact. So that's what we're going to talk about now. What is Rotary? If somebody came up to you today and said, gosh, I just saw this Rotary logo, what is Rotary? This goes along with what Paula was talking about yesterday. What is Rotary? Could you tell them in a way that they would understand? That they would feel like, oh gosh, I want to be a part of that? And what if they said, okay, you're in Rotary, what does a Rotarian do? Do you have a story to tell them? Can you tell them what you do? 3 examples here. The one on the left, on the left of wherever this way. Kiwanis International. Tell me, what does Kiwanis do? Anybody know? They do things with children? Okay.
Sell brooms.
They sell brooms.
Mission is site.
The sign sells
You
brooms.
do things with children. They raise money for the brooms. They give it to the children? Or?
Yeah, we do too.
I know they do the Key Club in the high school.
Have special kids programs.
Okay.
That gives the kids essentials for school.
Okay.
Several times during the year. I just did the first.
Okay. And it says that they're international, so we know that they're international. How about Civitan International? It says that they're international. Anybody know?
Never heard of that. Eyeglass.
Eyeglass?
No, that's Lions Den.
Lions.
Okay, what about the one in the middle? You even know what that is?
Is it
Hospitals.
Optimus?
Optimist. What do optimists do?
They're optimistic.
Friend of yours? I know I buy a Christmas tree every year from the Optimist Club, but I don't know where the money goes.
One in Sumter used to support youth athletics, in particular boxing in Sumter. They have sort of the name for that.
Okay, well, the point I'm trying to make here is we don't want to be these guys.
Right.
We want somebody, when they see a Rotary logo, to know what that Rotary logo means, what it stands for, what we do, who we are. What about this one?
Yeah, Red Cross.
You know the Red Cross. Exactly. Now, how do you know the Red Cross?
But they
What do you
spend about $60 billion on advertising.
They do. They do. And we don't have pockets like that. However,
Right.
when they're... oh, hush, you're taking it.
Oh, that's going on there, isn't it?
But listen to this. When there's a disaster, the Red Cross is there. And how do you know they're there? It's on their shirt. It's on the bag. It's on the truck. It's on everything they touch. You know the Red Cross is there. Even if nobody comes up and says verbally that they're there,
But
you see the Red Cross.
who else is there though?
I don't know.
Salvation Army's there in a big way.
Okay?
They just don't have the money to spend that the Red Cross does on marketing and branding.
Right. And Rotary doesn't have the money to spend either, but what Rotary does have is all of you. We have people. We have people that do the work that can get the word out. Now, how are we going to do it? Without any money. We don't have big bucks to spend. So, website. That's a good start. Now, just having a website is not enough. Excuse me. Anybody can have a website, but if it's not user-friendly, if it doesn't give you information, it's no good to you. It's just a site, yeah.
Remind us, Mary, how can we get a website for free? Can't we tap into something and it's free or something?
There's a company in California, Bill.
Well, I was just to say, if you have the district database package, I mean, it's like, if you're a large club, it's like $500, and you can get an awesome website and plus all the other tools with DACDB, and all of that is fed directly. The website's fed from DACDB's input, so I would recommend that.
There's also a group of guides on the West Coast, and I can get you the information, and they will do a one-page for free. Now, what I understand from them is that you can piggyback and add pages onto this if you have somebody who's pretty tech-savvy. But anyway, that's one of their things that they do for clubs, and they do a one-page website for free. I don't know what the guidelines are, but I can get you that information if you want it. Terry also is a good source for helping you get a website. So, but if you're going to have one, make sure you keep it up to date. It's current and it has good information. And it's easy to use. If it's not easy to use, I don't know about y'all, but if I get into a website that's difficult, I'm out. I don't want to have to fight it. Social media. I heard David Gerard say yesterday that Facebook was old hat. I don't believe that. I'm a Facebook freak, so I like Facebook, and I think it does work. If you use it, if you post things, tag yourself, tag your friends. If there's something on the district website that has a photograph that has you in it, if you tag yourself in it, it'll go to your line, your feed, your friends will see it. It works if you share. It won't work if you just look at it and keep scrolling on it. You have to use it. So if your club uses it and they tag people, Facebook will work for you, and I'll tell you a story about that in just a minute. Instagram has stepped up their game a little bit. It used to be mostly just a photograph, but they've gotten a little bit more interactive than what it used to be. Snapchat, unless you're 12, I'm not sure Snapchat, but again, whatever. LinkedIn, Twitter, and there are more. I mean, there are so many social media outlets out there. These were just a few that I thought I would mention to you.
Is there one that should we
Yes.
continue to focus on Facebook, or should we try to find somebody in the club who knows how to do Instagram
I
and
like
stuff?
Facebook, so I'm not probably a fair person to ask, but my suggestion would be whatever works for you, but something that reaches a broad spectrum. Facebook has a big audience. There are millions of people out there using it, so I think Facebook works, but you have to have somebody who knows what they're doing and know how to use it.
I think if you've got a younger person in your group, then you need to kind of tackle it from all angles because you want to attract the younger people to get them
Exactly. These young kids are on their phones,
and they get the word out there quick.
they get the word out there quick.
I was just thinking, do we, as a group, hashtag 7770, please? We do, right?
We can. I usually do good, have fun, tell someone.
Right. So that's really long, but if we did it as a group,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So then everybody can see all of our pictures.
7770, right.
Of us doing
Exactly.
this.
Or come up with a hashtag for your club so that people know that it's something new.
That's Twitter. Hashtag is Twitter.
Yeah, Facebook and Facebook both.
Anything, really.
Yes, Eric.
I would just like to mention that Snapchat has evolved also.
Oh, has it?
Many 20-somethings use it. You can put Snapchat stories on there now where you can have a series of pictures that tell a story with it. It's
And they
pretty
stay a
nice.
long time?
They stay, yes.
They do stay. See, I don't think
They don't do that. They would-
Snapchat stories will stay.
I think you have to save it to free, but that's a new feature, and I'm not sure people know that you can go look at it.
And maybe I need to look at that, especially if we're trying to bring the younger people in. I probably need to be a little bit more.
How do you get onto Snapchat? You do Snapchat.com or something?
No,
download the
it's an
app.
It's an app that you put on your phone
Like
or tablet.
Facebook.
Carl, you can Google social media and it will give you tons of outlets. You know, if you're a CPA or if you.
Well,
have a
LinkedIn is going to be where your
401k.
business people are or your professional people are. And I always think that, LinkedIn, if you're going to go social media, you definitely should have that aspect to it.
LinkedIn, and they have stepped up their game a lot of it too. It's a good program. Press release. I did and I think this is in the book, the press release?
Yeah.
Is it in the book? Okay, so you've got a copy of the press release. Especially clubs in small areas, send a press release with a photograph. Identify who's in the photograph. Newspapers, local magazines, they'll pick it up, they'll use it. And that's a great way to get the word out to your community. So I'm a big believer in that as well.
But not a grip and grin photograph, the one that I'm giving you the check and shake your hand.
It's
See,
fun.
do
I
something.
mean, you're
Do something.
trying to convince people to be a part of it. Billboards. Most billboard companies, I know Lamar will do billboards for free. I say for free. You have to pay for the vinyl, and I think that's $250. But they will give you space. It may not be the best space, but they will give you what they've got available, and they'll come to you. So you need to take advantage of billboards when you can. And if they don't have anything else going up, they'll leave it up for as long as it takes. Banners and flags. These are the small banners that you see hanging in cities. Again, small towns, you can invest in those. We have some around town if there's a big thing going on. And I can't remember what the cost is. It's not terrible. But you can put banners up around your city or your town. There used to be the, was it Brillo Cream that had the signs that you wrote?
Brillo Cream.
Yeah.
Burma
shade.
You meant Brill Cream.
Brill Cream.
You said Brillo Cream. I
Brill
thought.
Cream. But that's not what I'm talking about.
There you go. Oh,
Brill
Johnny's
shade
right.
is what I'm talking about. You see the signs and you can come up to it. So there's ways you can do these banners and flags. T-shirts. I believe in T-shirts. I'm going to tell you a story about T-shirts. We have been parking cars for Rotary for 40 years in the ETV parking lot for the Carolina game.
Longer than that.
Longer than that,
Yeah, because I parked there as a student, and that was in the early 70s.
we have been doing it for a long, long time. I convinced the club to do T-shirts this year. It just says volunteer, Rotary volunteers. I had several people from out of town come up and introduce themselves to me as Rotarians. I had people that had been parking there forever saying, I did not realize that Rotarians actually parked the cars. We had a sign that said it was a Rotary lot, but they didn't realize we actually parked the cars. I had a kid fist bump me and say, service above self.
Wow.
I was so excited. One guy rolled down his window and yelled out, is it the truth? Good.
That's a good one.
But the one I loved was the guy that called from North Carolina. He wanted to get some shirts. And his son is a student at USC, and we have a Rotaract club at USC. Well, there is one sponsored by Spring Valley. Yeah. That we are involved with because Ruby DeSalle is in my club, and he is a sponsor for the kids. So we got a new member into the Rotaract. So T-shirts do work. I mean, for years we've been parking the cars. Nobody knew it was There's another story about T-shirts, and y'all may have seen this on the news. A 60-year-old man who needed a kidney transplant. He was on the donor list. He was going to be visiting his family, visiting with his family to Walt Disney World. And so he, as he said, started thinking outside the box. He thought, what can I do to draw attention to the fact that I need a kidney? So he had a T-shirt printed with the message about the kidney. Somebody saw him pushing the chair. Now that's the son in the chair, so the person that saw him thought that the son needed a kidney. So she stopped him and talked to him and said, can I take a picture of this and put it on Facebook? He said, absolutely, but I need the kidney, not the son. She took a picture, put it on Facebook, over 59,000 clicks, but the good news is they received a call from a donor and got a kidney. So you can't tell me that it doesn't work. It does work, and that's not too long ago that happened. That's a pretty recent story. So yeah, I'm a believer in T-shirts. Your clubs have been really good about submitting articles to the district newsletter. They send stuff in all the time, and that's good because other Rotarians can read it. But we don't want to just keep telling each other what we're doing. We want to tell the public what we're doing. So we have to think outside of the box and think of ways that we can work as teams or groups. And that's where you guys come in. You have a group of clubs that are kind of under your wing. And you can gather these clubs together and think of things that you can do together that will have a bigger impact. I always use the dictionary project as an example. And the reason I do that is because it's a visual thing. If one of your clubs has 500 dictionaries that they give out, a stack of 500 dictionaries sitting there, that's pretty nice and good. Your club, you have a club that gives out 1,000. 1,000 dictionaries sitting there. That's pretty impressive. Maybe Carl's got a club that has 800. That's pretty good. But if you join forces with all these clubs and you have a blitz and you have all these dictionaries stacked up, the news media probably would be interested in seeing that. It all of a sudden has more of an impact. It makes sense to group with clubs. And I don't mean group with other clubs when it's going to take money out of your club profits for things that they're given to scholarships or whatever. I mean anything that's kind of different or is not going to earn money that you have to start getting involved with splitting the pot. Dictionaries, everybody puts money in, they buy, and then you take them and give them out. You give them out, you wear your T-shirt, you have a blitz. The media might be interested in that. They're not going to be interested in 500 books here, 200 books there. Not generally. The polio initiative, anytime you do anything with polio, we need to get as much bang for the buck because we will eradicate it. It's, as David said, he said we would do it, and we're going to do it. Feed the Hungry, tax programs and Meals on Wheels. I know Rod's Club does Meals on Wheels. And we put them in, I've helped Ken do this before, we put them in little bags, like grocery bags. You can get these things printed that have your club name on it for like 0.04 cents each. I mean, you might have to buy 1,000, but if you've been doing it for years, why not? When Harvest Hope partners with you to do the backpack or the Meals on Wheels, you better believe Harvest Hope is getting their share of publicity. There's no reason why Rotary can't have their share of it. Be involved, push the envelope. Think of ways that you can get Rotary out there so that you get a greater impact. That's my contact, Terry Moore's contact. There are awards given from public relations. It's also in your book for the citation at the end of the year. So be sure to look at that, help you club citations, and call Terry or me if you have any questions. And I think Terry has some things he wants to say.
Can I ask a question, Mary? Again, I'm sorry to be, but that, what do we do with that hashtag and how do we use it? Do I have to have something?
No, I can back up to it, but it's just hashtag do good, have fun. Tell someone if you do a post on Facebook, hashtag.
And you can use multiple hashtags. Do the
Yeah, you
District
can use
7770, create one for your club. If it's club related, use that one.
I mean, I would do one that says AGs are fun, hashtag AGs are fun. So we're going to post your picture today, but you guys rock. I mean, you can hashtag anything.
We did we finally talked the district into creating a Zoom account that's available to anybody in the district. If you can't get your presidents together, think about maybe doing a video link Zoom account. I'm the coordinator of it. Just call me up. We'll get a schedule. We'll get the a time slot for you to use it. I'll send you the link. You can mail it out to whoever you want on the chat. And it's a good tool. You know, it's just a good, quick video chat, and you can use your laptop. Excuse me. You know, and doing screen displays and that sort of thing. So keep that in mind.
Other thing you can do, and I just thought about this, we had a speaker from ETV one time she was so entertaining. So I went to our Facebook page and I went live. Now I know some of y'all have done that before. I'm called ETV like, what?
I know what it is. I just don't know how to do it.
So we went live, and I got all kinds of hits on that one. She was fabulous, so entertaining. So we did a live feed, and it was just not Rotarians responding. It was friends of mine, and they would share it on their page. Carl, is it your guy that was ringing the bell for the television? I always use this, and I apologize to hurt your feelings, but there was a guy in one of Carl's clubs ringing the bell for Salvation Army. And he was dancing and having a great time. He had over 7,000 views, which is great. You know what's wrong with that picture? Salvation Army was identified, but Rotary was not.
I've tried that.
Yeah. So if he had a sign that said, I'm a Rotarian Collectors of Salvation Army, that's what I'm talking about. Please make sure that you let the public know that Rotary is involved in what you do. It's a Salvation Army project, but Rotarians are doing it. So they should receive something. That's it. Any questions?
Just one simple thing. I don't know if anybody else does this, but in the signature line of your emails, whether business or personal, put the Rotary icon in there. I get a lot of people asking me questions about that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Before you finish, I'd like to just kind of pull our group about what are our thoughts on encouraging our clubs to do Facebook Live programs? So you've got a speaker, and they're a good speaker, and you put a camera up and you stream it Facebook Live or perhaps something else. Is that something that I was like, I want to do that. Wait a minute, do I want to do that? And what would be are there pros and cons to that? So,
Can we videotape?
You have to get the permission of the speaker, obviously.
Right.
But
the Alzheimer's speaker, our family was affected with that, but I couldn't be there that day.
Right.
So I had someone from the college to go and video that. I passed that around for makeup for anybody else. But we did it probably the hard way, the streaming. I mean, we got a disc, you know, but worked well.
We've done it.
I'm sorry.
We've done it in the past in our club, and it has worked pretty well. You know, it's just a live feed, but you know, that's when you email the members saying, "Hey, there's a live feed out there. Click on it. Guess what? Makeup, you know, kind of thing." And that motivates them to, oh, well, let me go watch this presentation.
And the only other thing I would say that's a negative to be careful to watch for is that if the speaker is something that you anticipate, there'll be a lot of questions from members. And then, of course, we know it's a live feed, it could stifle and make people feel uncomfortable asking questions. So it's got to be the right kind of speaker for that. And then be sure the members are on board. Like we actually had someone who was visiting our club, a newspaper reporter, who just held up their phone and was going to just like live feed the whole meeting, and no one knew it was happening, and it was very awkward. And then people afterwards were like, wait a minute, this isn't a public meeting. We want to interact with the speaker and interact with each other and not be all over
We're not here for your
Facebook.
benefit.
We're not here for everybody else. We're here to learn something from the speaker, and and there was some pushback on it, but I think as long as the club is okay with it, and maybe for certain speakers.
And this is right, it depends on the speaker.
It depends.
It has to be something that you think the general public might not hear. This lady was delightful, and I think she has a program on NPR. So, I mean, TV. She was delighted to do it. So, yeah, Mary.
Mary, the other social media that our club has started to use is Meetup, which is a public, come and join my organization sort of thing. Obviously, you got to screen people because there's people that just join for the heck of joining.
Right.
But we have been very successful. We now have 3 members that have joined as a direct result of Meetup. And we've been using it a little more than a year.
What does it do again?
It's a public forum to come and join a group.
It's an app.
An app.
Okay, so is it video or is it just?
No, it's just.
You download the app and then you plug in.
Oh, okay, so meeting history.
It goes into the app, so when Facebook will meet up, it'll show you.
As a Rotary Club meeting opportunity.
Sure.
Yeah. I got you.
Interested in community service, it could be, I'd
Or
like to
volunteer.
go out and drink wine.
Yeah,
it could be, you plug into things,
I got
and a way to meet people.
I got you.
What about GoToMeeting? If we did a video, that would be private, right?
Well, that's what our Zoom account is. They're a competitor to Zoom.
So we could do that at the meetings, and just members could go there.
Or at Google Hangout, or there's lots of different video chat.
Yeah. The other thing I would caution when you're doing Facebook or even sending photographs in, there are people that don't want to be on Facebook.
Exactly.
Especially if children are involved, so be very aware of that. Don't put kids up unless you have permission to do that, or anybody else. Okay, Johnny, have I cut into your time?
You have, absolutely.
Thank you. I'm so glad.